People feel that my pain is real. It hid in my brain, it remained concealed. The streets made me an orphan, I had to take the deal. The next day a bullet bounced off my little cousin training wheels. With prescriptions as addiction, it don't help the patient heal. Representing Kaepernick, only time that I take a kneel. Competition kissing pinky rings, and they shining shoes. All my rhymes crime infused, each line to prove the stakes of this race, the loser become lion fool. The jungle, the industry, most niggas try and lose. I could punch you for promotion, you ain't gotta be buying views. Chick in the whip, but it look like I'm driving alone. Vibing the songs you call, she silent the phone. I'm in the zone, I promise I'm...
Hey, it's your girl, Madam Money, aka Trap, and welcome to the official Salt in the Game album review of Ty Farris, Wired Different. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get it. Now, this is a pre-release album review, so I have to salute to Ty Farris to let me get an early listening. Try to let y'all know what y'all about to get into on here. Executively produced by Bozack Morris. I'm telling you, once y'all hear it, make sure y'all hit me back up here and let me know what y'all feel about the project and, you know, your favorite tracks and your favorite beats off of this album, because the production is strong on here as well. This is Ty Farris's third project for the year. He dropped No Cosign, Just Cocaine 3, rounding out his series, and also The Road of a Warrior. So make sure y'all tap into that. Before y'all tap into this, we got time, we got space. All right, now the intro on here is actually a excerpt from a motivational speech by Eric Thomas called Wired Differently, where he goes through the dynamics of, you know, nature and the hunter versus the huntee and what goes on with that. I'm gonna tell you right now that the theme carries straight through this whole project coming from that intro itself. So it's really, really dope to see that type of cohesion on a project. The first official track on here is actually the single that's out now, so make sure y'all check that out. This is crazy because when The Streets Made Me an Offer came across my timeline, I was like, wow, what is going on here? The beat is so hypnotic and the lyrics are very just hard and personal on here, so make sure y'all give that track a real quick listen before this album drops as well, because it definitely gives a tone to what is going on here. The next track on here, Nowhere to Run, it has like this low-key grand intro on the beat that goes into this gritty, like opera-esque type sample work that's going on here. A gun in the scale, all I got in my possession. A fiend called, I ain't answer, he left a message. You know, that's just some real shit right there. You feel me? You ain't feeling the game right there. But when the streets make you an offer, my nigga, sometimes like you really can't refuse it, and that's what is going on here. He also says on here, I was molded into the madness, a soldier with a ratchet. When you hear it, you could tell I wrote it with passion. And I'm gonna tell you, this is a very deep project. It gets personal on a couple of tracks on here, which is not, you know, too far from what Ty Farris does on previous work, but it definitely goes a little bit deeper into his personal life and situation and stuff when it come up. I'll explain that on a couple of these other tracks. The next track on here is called All or Nothing, featuring I don't want to mispronounce it, but it's like Palave and M-A-V, Mav. And it's a dope, like, you know, crew cut. You feel me? So Ty, he's giving you just a little example work of the other guys and stuff that he be dealing with, and they are spinning some hard bars, some knowledge in this track too. So I'm not gonna sit here and butcher it up with the bars or whatever have you, but you know, they spitting some knowledge on this track as well. The next track on here is called Social Media, and I really, really did enjoy this track. On the first verse, Ty Farris, he is using wordplay and using all the social media platforms in his schemes in regard to females and how females are playing the social media game and how, you know, the pros and cons of that, what is going on there. On the second verse, though, and I do want you to understand this, a lot of y'all niggas' feelings are going to get hurt. I'm gonna tell you right now, he's actually telling a lot of y'all rap cats out there, he's exposing y'all like, and I want to say subliminally, but a lot of y'all act like this is so abroad that I want to say he's really talking to all of y'all on the second verse on social media. One of the things on here and like the little bridge hooks or whatever, they spit on their own brother for 1,000 likes, and that shit is very true. That's just like just a little bit of what is going on here. I want y'all to definitely listen to this track right here, and I'm telling you, you're gonna hurt a couple feelings on that second verse, but it is what it is. He ain't spitting nothing but the truth and facts. So let's get it. The next track on here is called Treachery, featuring Rome Streets. Now, Rome Streets himself had dropped a crazy project this year. Noise Candy Force, one of my top albums of this year that dropped. Just to be honest with you guys, and they are like, they're like playing around with like, devil's work. Like, it's crazy as hell. I want y'all to hear that in its entirety. I don't want to speak on it too much or even leak any bars out for y'all, because once y'all hear it, y'all will understand exactly what is going on there. The next track on here is called Precious Poem, and I'm gonna say this is like a little weird type beat going on, and even though it's called Precious Poem, it's not like he's spitting like a spoken word to you. He's spitting to you on this track. One of the standout bars actually made me chuckle was, give you a black eye, call it civil rights. And I was like, damn, like, yeah, I understand what you're talking about there on that. It's crazy. Also on here too, he puts down like, the second I write it, I can't remember what I wrote. And that's like, that's like a madman concept. You feel me? That's like the Rain Man on there. And I definitely get what he's saying on that. The next track on there is called Cold, featuring Smooth. Now, Smooth also put out Young Smooth Part 2 this year. That album review is somewhere in the video, so make sure you check it out, and make sure you check out Smooth. I really did like this beat on here too. It's like a smooth piano beat with this like sample saying cold, with this shouting cold, but it's like there's other things going on there. I thought that was really, really dope production. You ain't walking the streets with a long nose. No, look, I'm butchering this man's stuff up here. You ain't walking the streets with a long nose. You fragile like Derrick Rose bones. And I thought that was really, really crazy to say. He follows it up with a fire second verse. Like, let me just be clear here. The second verse on here is fire. And Smooth, he closes out the track on the third verse. He plays into the whole like cold scheme and theme in his verse. Is really, really a dope record. So make sure y'all let me know how y'all feel about this once y'all do get a chance to hear it. Number 9 on here is We the Enemy, and that's like exactly what it said. We say We the Enemy. It's like a community conscious track on here. One of the standout bars I did like. It makes me like appreciate what Ty Farris actually does. It's like my life was hanging off the trees like an ornament, like sell trees like an ornament. And it was just like the way it hit crazy. Like, I'm not doing it no justice here at all, and I apologize, but my life was hanging off selling trees like an ornament. And I believe that is what it was, word for word, and I was not expecting that. And like I said, those one of those things that made me appreciate his bar work and what he actually does when he gets into these type of zones. Like I said, again, just a community conscious track, like, that he's aware of what is going on in the streets when it comes down to all these things, and he's not afraid to speak about it. So I did appreciate that. The next track on here is called Embrace the Pain, and that's it's like a real retrospective track about him on the come up in Detroit and through his eyes and what everything that he's been through. And I appreciate the personalization, like just being very personal and vulnerable on a track, just letting you know that his come up was very, very hard. And this is, this is what it is. Like, he said on this track, I ain't see my first pair of Nikes till the 7th grade. And it's like, a lot of us experience that type of stuff, and we try to like downplay the struggle a lot, because even as a kid growing up, you always pent up and put up against the front and show off it and try to say you have more than the next person there. But a lot of us have lived that life. So when he says something like, I ain't see my first pair of Nikes to the 7th grade, I was like, whoa, wow. You know, I know a lot of people out there right now, they tend to get a little money and they forget those feelings that they had of what inspired them to actually try to be successful and get the money like that. So really, really, like I said, just a real personal, like, and it's so relatable. It's like, you know, just every hood across America. You felt that, I felt that. We all know what that feels like. So I definitely did appreciate, embrace the pain in that retrospect on there. The last track on here, because the album was only 11 tracks long, and I'm gonna tell you too, it don't go by fast on you neither, because some of these things you're gonna play back. You're gonna want to play back. You want to catch everything that he's saying on here, and you're gonna play it back because it's very relatable to like what most of us has been through. But the last track on here, "What God Made Me," featuring Melanie Rutherford, she's actually singing on here. And what I like about this track, he talks about how like his beginning stages of rap, like he wasn't a good rapper, and that he really took his time out to perfect his craft to get to the level where he's at today with it, and that confidence. One thing I like about Ty Farris, like even outside of the music, even like, you know, on social media, on Twitter and stuff like that, he's a very confident person. So to hear things like, you know, what he's all been through, that type of stuff would actually crack the average person. So to hear him like persevere through all of this and become what he is, and like his outlook on things and where he wants to go with everything, I really did appreciate this being a closeout track, because again, a lot of people be fronting and they act like they was the nicest person from when they picked up a pen and a pad, and that don't be the case. So right here on this last track, he's definitely just telling you that. And he says here he stuck to his guns when all these rappers went south. And he's talking about the sound and how that sound actually took over hip hop in a period, but he said he stuck to his guns. I really do appreciate this project, because like a lot of time an artist always has to keep up this like facade, and be even if it's not a fake facade. Even it could be real, but it doesn't necessarily take you back to where somebody started from. And that is just littered all over these things. Things that I know that he's saying the truth on here, that he's experienced these things, that he does these things. Like, just to go back to the track, "Nowhere to Run," like he makes a reference to stealing cars, and you know, using the flathead on the steering column to start a car and stuff like that. This is all things like on the come up when you're really in the street and you're a kid in the street unwatched. Like you go through these things, you feel me? So I really did appreciate this project. I want y'all to make sure y'all support the artist properly. Make sure y'all tap into Ty Farris and what he has going on over there, because he puts out a lot of good work. So make sure y'all divulge into his discography before this come out. If you're not familiar with him, if you are familiar with him, let me know what you think his best album or project is out of his discography. And once you hear this Wired Differently, let me know what is the best beat on here by Bozack Morris, and what is the best track on here that you're feeling the most. So you feel me? This is gonna get a lot of burn when it does drop. I really just can't wait for y'all to hear it, because like it's it's actually really wired different. You feel me? It really is what the name of the album is. So I'm about to get out of here. I'm Madam Money. You can follow me on Twitter and on IG at Madam Money Says. That's MADAMMONEYSAYS. You feel me? Make sure you leave your comments in the comments below. And make sure you hit up the artists once this drops. Show your support and get the word out there for a project like this. You feel me? You know, no cosign, just cocaine was so hard. And this is so different from that. But like, dog, you got to push the artists. You got to make sure they give them the right highlight that they supposed to get to when they do drop something a little against the grain, and something, you know, so personal like what this album really is. So I'll be seeing you guys around as always. Peace.
It had in my brain to remain concealed. Streets made me an orphan, I had to take the deal. The next day a bullet bounced off my little cousin training wheels. With prescriptions as addiction, it don't help the patient heal. Representing Kaepernick, only time that I take a kneel. Competition kissing pinky rings and they shining shoes. All my rhymes crime infused, each line to prove the stakes of this race. The loser become lion fool. The jungle, the industry, most niggas try and lose. I could punch you for promotion, you ain't gotta be buying views. Chicken the whip, but it look like I'm driving alone. Vibing the songs you call, she silent the phone. I'm in the zone, I promise I'm just getting started. Businessman with stocks and bonds, I'm not just an artist. Forced to trade at this present moment, I spit the hardest. No disrespect, my 16s is a vicious threat. Streets made me an offer I couldn't refuse. This my destiny, win or lose. Why different? I got a couple of missing screws. Full time on the block, music an interlude. For sure.